Hello, and welcome back to another episode of Starting Out with Quantum Computing. My name is Lloyd, and I think I've got something very interesting for you this time. So today I'm going to be talking about Libby Heaney's quantum computing exhibition and how it absolutely blew my mind. So I had the pleasure of attending Libby Heaney's incredible quantum computing art exhibition. It was called Shadowscapes, Heaney, JMW Turner, and Quantum. And I've got to tell you all about it. So this exhibition, just last week that I went to, featured her out-of-this-world works alongside some famous works from Joseph Turner. It was a collaboration that you'd never even fathom were possible, and it works sublimely well. By pairing the inherently random and chaotic world of quantum with the romantic, subtle, and composed landscapes of Turner, it felt as though I was able to appreciate a new depth to the philosophy of quantum. This exhibition provokes your mind, your senses, and breaks the limited confines of your perceptions. It challenges your understanding of the quantum universe and forces you to confront the very nature of our world. In the quantum world, things are hidden, uncertain, fluctuating, and random, and yet a certain defined beauty is formed from this. With certain genius, one can capture it. So let's talk about what I saw, but first, let me introduce Libby Heaney. So Heaney is known as the first artist globally to use quantum computing as her artistic medium, beginning in 2019. Her work has been presented in exhibitions within the UK, New York, Barcelona, Beijing, Frankfurt, the list goes on. She is an international pioneer. Some of her solo shows have been held at HEK Basel in Switzerland, LAS Art Foundation in Berlin, and Somerset House in London. Between 2015 and 2019, she held an academic position at the Royal College of Art in London. And in 2022, she won the Lumen Prize, among many others. Heaney's work expands the horizon for how contemporary art can engage and interact with the world of quantum. Before turning to art, though, Heaney trained as a scientist. She holds an MA in Art and Science from Central St. Martin's, an MSc in Physics with German from Imperial, as well as a PhD in Theoretical Quantum Information Science from the University of Leeds. As a postdoc, then, she has held research positions and fellowships at the University of Oxford and the National University of Singapore. Her academic papers have featured in some of the best scientific journals there are, such as Physical Review Letters and New Journal of Physics. This extensive scientific background is not only impressive, but also massively contributes to her artistic process. So to learn even more about Libby Heaney, you should definitely visit her website. It will be linked in the article. So let's talk about the Shadowscapes exhibition at Orleans House Gallery. I'm going to try to describe for you the images that I've put in the article, but if you're very interested in what they actually looked like, please go ahead and take a look at the written article. It should be linked below. So as you arrive at Orleans House and you enter the reception, there is a loud, booming sound that catches your attention immediately. And it originates from this beautiful room. It's got incredible arched windows, a stunning golden chandelier, and the roof is incredible. But more importantly as well, the floor is a checkered pattern like a chessboard. And we've also got these sort of tentacle-like figures that are on the ground, and their tentacles are touching, and they're also in a black and white checkered pattern. And it was captivating. The way I interpreted it was this. I saw entangled particles on the floor. Much as how small subatomic particles or qubits within a quantum computer can become entangled, this entanglement could be seen as tentacles stretching between the particles. Once particles or qubits are entangled, they cannot be described individually, and furthermore, they can be affected at the same time instantaneously. A process like decoherence, which I have explained before, is the breakdown of a quantum state. It could be thought of as analogous to shredding the link between the tentacles. This was a great start to the exhibition, and I felt myself being beckoned into the next room. This one was a lot darker, perhaps a little sinister, yet mysterious and exciting. And here I found some incredible paintings. The mixture of Turner's stunning works with the captivating allure of Heaney's art was majestic. Some of Turner's work genuinely took me aback. There is such a raw and flowing expression from his pieces. Crashing waves and turbulent winds can almost be felt and heard. The sea spray can almost linger on the nose. Meanwhile, roaring fires and coastal backdrops stir deep emotions and flood the mind with landscape imagery. Heaney's work challenges the eyes and surpasses conservative notions. Whilst I like to compare her square canvas works to atomic nuclei or cells from a living organism, my parents saw souls and spiritual energy. One thing that remains consistent with Heaney is the theme of hands with claws. One may find that within her paintings and her larger physical works. Particularly, I also found floral and tree-like depictions within her expressions, as if to almost dive into the cross-section of a large trunk. The journey at Orleans House Gallery is tumultuous and rocky. You will rarely find yourself composed. One of the highlights was an AI-powered piece. It is not something I have ever seen before. Hung from chains, a screen showed an indescribable plethora of worlds, evolving and swirling and chaotically manifesting. First caves and stalactites, then thorns and bushes scattered on volcanic plains. Next, universes and stars colliding with heavenly ascents, and then suddenly dark reflections of yourself mirrored ad infinitum. I mean this literally. A camera was actually fixed above the screen such that the image of yourself would become incorporated into the display. It might choose to zoom in to your lips, your legs, or your hands, twisting and knitting a visual narrative in real time. I should imagine that taking a certain drug could recreate this experience. It was surreal and had an eerie beauty about it. The music that accompanied could not be put into genre, and that was precisely what I loved about this entire experience in a sense. It is refreshing and necessary to go outside of your normal bounds and experience new things. One of the most interesting things that I saw actually was a sort of severed tentacle that was on the floor, and then we had a hand with black nails or perhaps even claws emanating from it, and it played into that theme that Libby is often playing into about the hands with claws. And so how did I interpret Shadowscape's take on quantum computing? Generally, the world of physics is rather binary. Even though countless theories are overturned all the time, and at the highest levels of the field, interpretations vary wildly. Traditional physics tends towards consensus. Physicists enjoy consensus and agreement, but the world of quantum computing will not allow this inherently. Quantum mechanics describes the fundamental disorder of our universe. Particles can seemingly become waves or particles at a whim. Electrons are not found at a particular location, but instead exist in a clouded probability, uncertain about where to show up. As one tries to measure a particular property of a quantum particle, the precision of other measurable properties seemingly disappear. Or take superposition and entanglement, quantum properties in which a quantum state exists in a combination of many possibilities, or where the constituents of a quantum state are linked and correlated. These unintuitive theories and observations of our universe challenge conventional physics. In this way, therefore, I see Shadowscapes as an excellent impression of quantum mechanics and quantum computing. Qubits are unreliable at times and can randomly fail due to interference with the natural environment. We call this noise. As we perfect the art of containing and controlling quantum things, it will nevertheless always be the case that their innate nature is chaotic. And there's something beautiful about that. Things aren't predetermined in the world of quantum. They're chaotic. Thank you very much for listening to Starting Out with Quantum Computing. I've been your host, Lloyd. If you like what you've what you listen to. I would very much appreciate you sharing it with a friend who might be quantum curious. And I very much hope to see you next week. Okay, all right. Bye-bye for now.